Hey YouTube, welcome to Super Lorcana World, your one-stop shop for everything Lorcana. Today's video is nothing but my Disney Lorcana competitive play wish list. I am not saying that any of this stuff is going to come true, but I've been looking at card games, competitive card games for years now, and I've built my wish list of what I'd want to see to play Lorcana competitively. What would make me really excited and really happy to play competitively. And that that is what I'm going to tell you in today's video. So if you guys like this content, please like, comment, subscribe, and also let me know what you want to see in competitive Lorcana play. We should be getting the announcement soon, according to Ravensburger, so I figured I'd upload my thoughts. And if any of these come true, I'm a very happy person. I'll tell you that right now. So let's go ahead and dive into it. There are three different things I want to show you, which basically make up the wish list that I have. And we're going to start with Pokemon. Pokemon, I love Pokemon. I love the trading card game. I wish I had time to play it more. I just don't, unfortunately. But they do championship points. These are points that you build in order to go to Worlds. You don't have to, essentially compete, do well at a tournament, then compete at a bigger tournament to qualify for Worlds. You can just do kind of whatever you want and get to Worlds as your own, choose your own adventure with certain guidelines. So about their championship point system, you have to have an account, obviously, whatever, and you got to get you some points, and that's all it is. It shows you what each type of tournament is. This is basically a League Challenge, just the smallest one. You can get this many points at most. League Cup is a little bit bigger. You get that many points if you win, or so on, so on. Regional championships and special events, you can get 200 points up to, plus kicker points also is pretty cool, whatever. And you have here international championships, which are really big tournaments where you can get those 500 points. So basically, Ravensburger comes in and says you have to obtain X points to compete for Worlds, and here is how you can get them. Now, caveat. You can only use 6 league challenges. So, you can't just farm league challenges and get to Worlds. No, you cannot do that. You can only do 6. You can only have 6 league challenges on your docket. So that means you can only have 90 points at most from league challenges, and you can only have 300 points at most from league cups. That means if you're doing well, you still need to play in bigger events in order to do well. So I would love to see multiple different tiers of tournaments, and I'd love to see points that you can use to go to Worlds. That way your season isn't just over after 1 or 2 weekends unless you're really good. It forces you to grind a little bit, and it's a healthy grind, I think, in my opinion. So that's how I'd want to see you compete to Worlds. Well, what about prizing? These Pokemon tournaments have cash prizing, which I think is honestly really good, and I'd play for cash. But you know what I'd also play for, and what would really be cool to see? Serialized prize cards. This is someone who got a serialized Luffy from One Piece TCG. Talk about One Piece a lot on this channel this week. Out of 700, this guy had number 9 and got a PSA 10 and is selling it for this amount. Now, definitely not going to sell for that amount. It's more about for coverage, and he's going to see what he can get for it, obviously. But the whole point is that he can sell this now for a lot of money because he had a grade, particularly. But even ungraded, serial Luffys, to my recollection, were available at One Piece major events if you came top 8. Top 8. That's crazy good. And if Lorcana copy and pasted this for their events, top 8, you get a serialized Mickey alternate prize card or whatever. That, and then obviously extra benefits for coming higher up or whatever. That would be really cool. You see, Ravensburger wants to promote itself both to players and to casuals and to collectors, right? You can compete and get your prize card, which you can either keep for yourselves to collect or sell to an actual collector who's going to want to collect as many of these as possible, and then you get some big money for it. Either way is fine. You see, with me, the reason why I like cash in Pokemon, why I don't mind cash for Lorcana, is because I don't really have a spot in my brain or heart for these prize cards. To me, I look at this card and if I were to win it, I just see a paycheck. That's what I see. But collector's items like this available at top 8 or higher give the collectors something to go for, or gives the players something to go for. And if you're playing, you have the choice. You can either choose a payday, or you can choose to get as many of these as possible to collect. And I think that's really cool. So I think if they implemented this plus cash, or either or, honestly, I would personally be happy with that. That's me. I don't need to play for boxes. I don't need to play for product. I can just get as much product as I want because I'm a store anyway, to a certain extent. I get as much as I want. But yeah, this would be the way. This would be the way to hook me personally. And finally, events. And Yu-Gi-Oh! Used to do this a lot better before COVID. But if you browse through their whole Agov season, which is the latest set, right? Latest main set, you have multiple regionals, a weekend in some cases, right? Different locations. Like you had four regionals October 28th. In Arizona, I guess this is Hawaii, Indiana, and Tennessee. And then you had Texas too. And then you had a couple on Sunday too. Like, this is what I want to see. Now, in the holiday season, we know this slows down a little bit, and you can see it as it kind of tapers off a little bit, and that's fine, not a big deal. Plus, there were some YCSs in this little gap here between November 12th and December 2. YCSs being big championship premier events for Yu-Gi-Oh! So it makes sense for a little bit of a break there. But, a little bit slow time because of the holidays and whatever, and that's fine. And we're waiting for a new schedule of regionals anyway. Okay, that's fine. If we can just see a whole smorgasbord of events that you can participate in every weekend, again, it would help with the point thing, because regionals give you points for Worlds 2 in Yu-Gi-Oh! Don't forget. You have to really grind them, because you only get X number of spots, but there's still points there. There's a reason why 2 of the big 3 use points nowadays for their Worlds. It's because it works. So I would love to see Ravensburger show that. And on the note of Yu-Gi-Oh! Real quick, there's one more thing that I want to see. And if I can find it really quickly, that would be really cool. These Yu-Gi-Oh! Championship Series things, these are the big premier events, right? You can click on this one's coming up. Sure. Okay, that's fine. Some are 3v3, which would also be really cool to include in Lorcana, by the way. But, this one doesn't have anything. Let's go to a recent one that's done then. Like, I don't know. Maybe this one has something? Maybe? I don't know. Okay, whatever. What these YCSs do is they offer side events. Side events with different formats. Why I think I'm going to start going to Yu-Gi-Oh! YCSs again is because they have this thing called Time Wizard format, where you can play an older format in a smaller competitive event for good prizes. So if you don't want to play in the main event, or you scrub out of the main event, you can still get your fill, maybe with an alternate format like, I don't know, multiplayer or something. We're too new for Time Wizard, but something like that where you could have a chance of getting really cool prizes, like giant cards. Giant cards. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is really good with the giant cards. I think Pokemon does too. I think Magic does too. I think they all have giant cards of some form. Digimon and Bandai games don't implement this for some reason. I don't know why. But giant cards, exclusive play mats, alternate formats, these are things that could be introduced into their higher level events that give people a reason to come out and play. They don't have to go 0-2 drop. Or, in my case, I'm going to these YCSs maybe, just to play in the side events. Not necessarily play the main event, because I think current Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a mess. That's my opinion. But to have this ability, have this option, is really good. So that, ladies and gentlemen, would be my wish list for Lorcana Ravensburger competitive play. To recap, multiple IRL events that you have the access to travel to every weekend, serialized prize cards, and or cash, and then having a point system that let you accumulate points to go to Worlds. That is what I want to see for Lorcana in terms of competitive play. If I saw this, I'd probably play competitively. If I don't see this, then TBD. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments what you want to see when we start Lorcana competitive play, and I'll see you later. Bye!